You know, you look at our club, and we've played 3 weekends now, and four weekends, and our record's 9-5, which, if you look at it overall, is a decent record, but kind of disappointing. We started out 7-0, went to Texas A&M. They've got a very good club, very good, very unique place to play. They have a big stadium. I'd say probably 3 games, probably they had anywhere from 2,500 to 4,000 fans, and they feel like they're right on top of you. You know, they have a big overhang, and they're fairly obnoxious. And I say that actually in a good way. They do a great job with their team. You know, they're actually a 10th man for their club, and you know, we've got a fairly young club, and I think our guys were, you know, for a lot of them, it was the first time they'd played in any type of atmosphere like that. And I think it's going to bode well for us in the long run because, you know, our goal is to play in postseason play. You know, we're going to North Carolina, we're going to South Carolina, and then we hope to play in postseason play. And when you go to places like that, you're going to run into fans like that and the atmosphere like that. So I think it's good for our guys, you know, to have gone through that. And that's one of the reasons we like to travel and play places like that, so we can hopefully get prepared for postseason play. The first 2 days, I didn't know which club. I didn't recognize the club that was out there. Who are those guys? I had no idea who they were. You know, we didn't play well in any phase of the game. I thought the first game, Matteo D'Angelo pitched pretty well, but outside of that, we didn't play well in any phase. And so we talked about it afterwards. We got beat 7-0 and 12-4, and we talked about it after that that our guys need to learn to play the game and not the opponent. I think a lot of times you get carried away by who you're playing or where you're playing, rather than understanding the game is still the same. You know, they still have to throw it over the plate. You know, you got to catch it, you got to hit it, and we got to play the game rather than playing the opponent. I thought Sunday's game we played much better. We lost 2-1, and it's a game I would say we should have won. We hit 7 or 8 balls right on the button that were caught right at somebody. Their center fielder, their left fielder, and their second baseman all made diving catches. If the ball would have been 6 inches one way or another, they wouldn't have caught it. And it was one of those games where, you know, you look back at the end of the game and you don't think you could have played a whole lot better. Wade Newman pitched for us through a great ball game. We hit a lot of balls right on the button. We get up they come up in the bottom of the 8th. Their leadoff guy hits a Baltimore chop, a high Baltimore chop base hit that doesn't go 90 feet. You know, and he gets a base hit and he ends up scoring the winning run. And so you look at it and you wonder, you know, where's the justice in this game? But that's one of the beauty of baseball. It's, you know, it's a game that is a game of inches. And you can have a great night at the plate, hit 4 balls right in the button and you're 0 for 4. Or you can flare 3 balls and you're 3 for 3. You know, it's just the way the game is. And so we came back from there, I think, you know, learning a little bit about ourselves. But I think one of the things that happened out there, they have a very good pitching staff. Their stats are phenomenal. I think they had, you know, all the way, not just against us, but against the whole year. They had played 120 innings and had struck out like 150, only walked 25. Their strikeout to walk ratio was phenomenal. And we struggled, and I think it's carried over, you know, because we played this weekend. We played Toledo Thursday night. We lost 5-4. We left the bases loaded in the 8th and the bases loaded in the 9th. And you know, I think hitting is contagious in both directions. You know, the first weekend, you know, we hit 430 as a club. I mean, it just seemed like it didn't matter. Just go up, didn't matter who went up and what kind of bat they had. We were getting hits all over the place. We couldn't hardly buy a hit this weekend. And you know, we came back and we pitched well all weekend. We beat Toledo on Friday 5-4. We played Canisius on Saturday, beat them 3-2, and then we lost yesterday 3-1. And so we're 9-5. You know, I think realistically, we certainly, you know, should be better than that, but not a lot better than that. We should be a couple of games better than that. And I told you, you know, to everybody that asked whenever we talked about our club in preseason, I thought we were going to be very good on the mound, and you know, we were untested offensively. We only had 5 players here that have ever taken in bat here, and the first weekend I maybe looked like an idiot. You know, we had 433. You know, and I'm thinking, holy mac! I mean, up and down the line, if everybody's hitting, I'm thinking, man, I knew we wouldn't hit 433. You know, the rest of the year, but I'm thinking, man, maybe we have a chance to be pretty good. And, you know, since then we're hitting 233 as a club, and we aren't as good as we were the first weekend. We aren't as bad as we're hitting right now. We're going to end up being somewhere in the middle. The key for our guys is just to keep working. Hitting is contagious. It's mental. You know, it's a game of failure. You know, I think it's the only thing I know where you can make outs and be wrong, fail 7 out of 10 times and make millions of dollars, you know, in the big leagues. I mean, if you hit 300, you know, you're going to make millions and millions of dollars. It's a tough thing to do, and it's really tough mentally. Once you start going and struggling a little bit, start putting a little pressure on, and when that's happening throughout the lineup, then it puts pressure on everybody. Everybody wants to be the guy to get the hit, you know, get us out of this little slump that we're in, and usually it takes a flare or a lucky hit to get us moving again. So, you know, I think we're going to be a good club. Our pitching's been very good, and I think that's where you win championships. When I talked to you before, I told you, remember the name Tommy Lawrence. I don't really remember that when I was here. I said, remember Tommy Lawrence, a freshman out of Connecticut. You know, he's a kid that he threw 4 1/3 innings yesterday, threw very well, gave us a chance to win in relief, threw 2 shutout innings on Friday night as well. He's a kid that's going to be pretty good. But I think we've had 14 games, we've had 10 quality starts. And, you know, I think that's been the key to our club right now. Once our hitting gets to where I think it's going to be, and again, I don't know that we're going to be a great offensive club. I think we're going to be a good offensive club. You know, I think we'll have a good year. And again, 9-5 is not a bad start, but you know, you always feel it can be a little bit better. And we're just not swinging the bats right now, and hopefully that'll pick up this week. You know, we do have a busy week. We have Harvard here tomorrow at 5, Columbia Thursday at 5, Columbia Friday at 4, 5, or 6. Doubleheader Saturday with Kent State. It's very good, in Penn State, 2:30 and 6. And then this is the Coca-Cola Classic. We appreciate Rock Hill Coca-Cola for putting this on and giving us some money to help us sponsor this tournament. And this is a true tournament. We have 4 teams in: Columbia, Kent State, Penn State, and us. We'll have a consolation game and a championship game on Sunday. So it's going to be a busy week for us, and we'll know a lot more about ourselves after this week. Hopefully we get back swinging the bats a little bit better.